Hey guys, hope you are all having a great day. So it's been a couple days since my last video. AMC has continued falling in value. It was quite the controversial video, definitely the one I have garnered both the most support and most hate. I figured I would do a follow-up and go over some of the most asked questions and concerns for AMC investors. The one I keep getting the most by a large margin is if AMC is still capable of squeezing MOAS style. This one is a bit hard to answer, but the answer is yes, I do believe it. You see, the idea behind MOAS is that hedge funds are so over-leveraged because people buy so much that they can't get rid of all those naked shares they made. From what I have seen, a significant portion of AMC investors are still stubbornly buying non-stop no matter what happens price-wise. The biggest issue I see with AMC is that diluting the stock means selling shares in the market, which definitely takes a lot of the pressure off of hedge funds and friends. Every time they dilute, the potential for any squeeze really, significantly weakens. This is why I am so against AMC diluting so much. On top of the fact that it's not needed, or that it undermines shareholder value, it also weakens the big payoff we would want. If you look back at the chart, AMC popped big time the first time the judge denied the conversion almost double. This stock was literally primed in my opinion for a big run, especially coming off of such a fantastic earnings report. To all investors, I will say this to you, you should diversify your portfolio. You should have long-term safe investments and have a portion of money also in riskier types of setups like AMC or GameStop. That way no matter what happens, your account won't blow up completely, which is what has honestly happened to so many these past 2 weeks. The amount of people that have messaged me asking me for advice about what to do because they have lost over 90% of their investment in AMC is staggering. And pretty much everyone that was in AMC suffered the same fate. By diversifying your investment in blue-chip stocks, in growth and tech and dividends, you allow yourself to not have all your eggs in a basket, so when a hit like the one we are suffering comes, it doesn't throw your account off. Simply develop a plan of where to allocate the funds you deposit in your broker account and how you distribute it. Right now the situation is an absolute mess. Adam Aron is completely silent, an unusual behavior from him. He is being asked by both reporters like Charles Payne to come on the show as well as by thousands of angry investors to give an explanation as to what is happening, but he is definitely not budging. He is hiding, and honestly for good reason. If someone puts him on the spot of why he needs to dilute so much, he won't be able to give an adequate excuse. He can talk about debt financing and having cash on hand for potentially slower attendance during holidays, but AMC already showed itself capable of doing that on its own without deterring shareholder value, and he won't have a good reason to explain that. I think he is just saving face from being questioned about his actions, but more importantly, about the bigger question which will be asked, which is, will AMC dilute more? Which of course the answer is an astounding yes. And this brings me to the next portion of the question. Can AMC continue going down for months to come? The answer is yes. AMC can have a blowout on the next earnings report and still crater back down below $5 because the market expects much more dilution in the coming future. Adam Aron has already hinted at it. We saw on their latest 8K filing that they have the potential to dilute more than twice the total amount of outstanding shares right now. This stock is in serious jeopardy to go lower just because of that. This is why hedge funds are shorting this company to the brink and why they are making tons of millions of dollars doing so. Adam Aron's course of action has given shorters a green light to pound hard on the stock by hinting that they intend to create the perfect environment that allows shorters, not investors, to profit off of AMC. This is what dilution does. I don't know why the AMC community is so critical of me when I said this on my last video because it's the absolute truth. Outside the AMC community, you would be laughed out of a room if you think that diluting a company will result in the perfect condition for growth. And actually, let me take a moment here right now to address one of the biggest copes I see individuals bringing up. So the last 2 times AMC diluted, the price of AMC went up. Tons of investors are using this as a barometer and excuse to conclude that, well, because it happened the last 2 times, it must absolutely happen again. First of all, AMC was in a much different position last time it did these things. AMC was also a much more popular stock by then with a CEO that was being cherished and not being questioned by even the most loyal followers. Just because it happened a couple occasions is not guarantee that it will happen again. I mean, dilution has taken place, whereas the squeeze you continue to say was due to happen. AMC should have fired off already if that was meant to be. But even more, and this is where I get kind of frustrated with some of the AMC community, I thought we were here for MOAS. Because I wouldn't sell on a tiny price jump compared to what hundreds if not thousands of dollars of stock price gains holds. I thought you were here for MOAS, not tiny price sums here and there, which begs the question, why are people so concerned about a potential little squeeze? Last 2 times you didn't sell, so why are you hoping for a third then? You agreed the last 2 times weren't MOAS, so why do you want a repeat of them? You cannot assume a stock will always copy and repeat the same actions as it once had, because the company was in a vastly different shape back then to where it is now, both in valuation, popularity, fundamental value and market conditions. There was a lot more happening back then that is not happening now. If we squeeze, that is freaking fantastic, but I am not betting my chips on the empty, unfounded assumptions of others. Give me hard evidence to suggest that and I will perhaps change my mind. Another comment I see trending a lot has to do with the frustration people see from others blaming Adam Aron and not the hedge funds. For years, I have gone over all the evidence, all the due diligence of how hedge funds keep the price down. Yes, they are the ones shorting AMC, they are very active in the price suppression we are seeing now. The issue, once again, is that Adam Aron, the man who is supposed to look out for my and your investment, created a market condition by diluting AMC and hinting at relentlessly diluting it more than twice its current shares outstanding, that allows hedge funds to foster and debilitate the stock price even more. If I am going to be honest with you, I think AMC was doing really good where it was at $5. It was settled there, people were buying shares super cheap. But then again, we also had the issue of APE. Since its inception and announcement, I was critical of APE, speculating that it was implemented to undermine shareholder voting rights and to let AMC do whatever they wanted. Still, people called me a clown shill, voted yes on it, and it got shoved up our bums. Tell me if I am wrong, but I remember everyone and their grandma saying APE would bring about the money AMC so desperately needed to pay off their loan, that it was a 4D chess move by Adam Aron to expose the real number of authentic shares in the market, and I believe that a ton of people also said that it would create the perfect condition to set off a squeeze as well. I mean, feel free to look back at those videos and read through the most upvoted comments, it's all there. And then the weeks kept on passing by, we didn't get confirmation of anything shareholders assumed would happen. APE went down big time because, again, hedge funds rightly interpreted its conception as indication that Adam Aron would dilute this company again, which is what happened. So now, APE shares were taken off the market, and the same people that said we would be squeezing on its implementation are now saying we will squeeze on their disappearance from the exchange. I trust you can put 2 and 2 together and come up with your own conclusion about everything. I was told I was being too negative on AMC, and that because of that I sound like a shill. They must have not listened to any of the videos I have been making. I strongly believe in the business AMC offers. I think they offer a service that is by far undeniably important for movie studios, one that they are becoming more dependent on. On top of that, their increased catalog of products via popcorn and potential merchandise being sold outside of theaters gives it opportunity to grow as well. If AMC can start delivering its own authentic candy bars, chocolate bars and other food products outside their theaters, it will significantly increase those revenue pipelines. I have said many times before that AMC could make a movie production company. I mean, guys, this year I have seen 2 movies on AMC theaters that were developed by once popular YouTubers, who grew their craft into small production companies and found great success. The last movie I saw from one of them is called Talk to Me, and the movie had a budget of $4.5 million. It ended up grossing over $55 million at the box office, showing a tremendous amount of success and proving that a movie doesn't need a $250 million budget to be successful, something Disney needs to learn immediately themselves. But that's beside the case. Those Conjuring movies, the Insidious movies and pretty much all horror movies are among the most profitable movies because they are so cheap to make yet gross so much revenue. AMC could make an absolute bang on its own pockets by making similar films. Think not only of the box office performance, but imagine they actually find a niche successful franchise. Think of all the merchandise they could sell on top of movie ticket admissions and popcorn, which by the way, is where the money is. Tons of people think Star Wars makes their money at the box office, when where they really make their money is actually in the Walmart and Target toy aisle. On top of that, AMC also has a streaming service. They could put all their own movie catalog on that streaming service or lease it out to Netflix and make even more money doing so. That's yet another income source potential. AMC has the ability to become something so much more than it is, and it has been showing a lot of promise doing so as well. The problem with AMC is one created by the management team, one that has not even a need in existing. This whole dilution thing, it was totally unnecessary. Had it not been for Ape, AMC could have left about $400 million cash on the table, but the price of the AMC stock would be significantly stronger than it is right now. AMC has lost billions of dollars in market cap because of the decision to dilute. They exchanged billions of dollars from market cap for a mere $400 million in cash. The last time AMC had a lot of cash, they invested it in a gold mining company, Hycroft. Go look at the stock of that company and tell me if the investment was worth it. They literally threw $27.9 million generated by their own investors in the trash. AMC has the potential of the world, and we investors brought it here. We saved it from bankruptcy, we brought business back into it, we proved every analyst in Wall Street wrong. Remember when they were betting their own mothers that streaming was the future and only path for movie studios to make money? Well, Disney is hemorrhaging billions of dollars in Disney+, HBO Max, now just known as Max, is losing tons of money and are desperate. Amazon Prime is also trying to find stronger footing. The only firm streaming services are that of Apple and of course, Netflix. Everyone else is kind of underperforming on their streaming services, and they have all made public statements saying they intend to up their theater movie releases because, as we predicted, film costs are too high and the box office is the best place to release their product if they intend to show serious success. And that brings me to a good concern about AMC's ability to be profitable in the future. Right now there is a writers' strike taking place and tons of movie production are being halted. Irrelevant of how we morally feel about this strike, it does spell trouble for AMC, especially if it continues to linger on for months on end. It literally stops movie businesses from filming and even releasing films, so it will definitely affect the schedule by which movies come out and therefore can significantly affect AMC as well. I saw some people undermining its potential effect on AMC and I could not disagree more with that take. It can and will affect AMC because if there are no movies to show, there will be no one to attend theaters. This situation is an absolute mess and incredibly hard to diagnose the impact as there is no end on sight for it. I know that recently VFX artists at Disney finally decided to unionize, so let's see if the writers' strike finally concludes relatively fast so business can get back in order. Back to what I was saying, I do believe in AMC, we proved everyone in Wall Street wrong. AMC does have a place along streaming. I believe in the business of AMC more than most, my qualms are not about that. My problem is directly with the AMC management team, who has compromised my investment, who mocked all retail investors during their earnings call. Go look at my video on that where I go over it, and who now, during the worst period of time AMC has ever seen, is now hiding away, not wanting to show face for the decisions they themselves brought upon us all. I mean, even if you disagree with me on everything I have said, you have got to agree that the least Adam Aaron could do would be to show presence and unity by being present in the conversation. Yeah. He gonna get rag-dolled in public, which is why I think he is all shy now all of a sudden, but that's the hit you get when you make silly decisions. If he still showed face and was talking to us, it would give investors much more confidence. Will AMC survive this? This is hard to say. AMC needs to show profitability and continuous growth now more than ever with the potential for more dilution. It will not significantly pump the price up, but it will keep its current investor base at least still optimistic about something because if they start to weaken now, I bet you another chunk of investors are going to be leaving. Hate me for calling it early just as you did when I called out Ape a scam. I promise you that the moment AMC starts to underdeliver along with fears of dilution, this company goes from the $10 it's sitting currently in the stock market back down to $1. Adam Aaron can reverse split all he wants. The market cap valuation is going to go under $1 billion if they show that type of poor performance. I hope that AMC does a good job reinvesting the money they generated from Ape, not putting it in questionably dumb investments. I want them to continue expanding products on retail and to show a viable plan for growth. AMC can survive all that has happened, but because of dilution, the expectations are set even higher. They need to blow out expectations back-to-back non-stop to keep that momentum it had been building up. For those asking if it's a good time to enter AMC, I can't tell you to buy right now with a straight face. I would honestly wait for statements from management about the future dilution and kind of make a decision as we go. Again, I would think about diversifying my investment into successful companies and leave a small chunk for risky plays such as this one. That way if you get hurt bad on AMC, you don't blow your entire portfolio. which sadly enough is what happened to 4 million retail AMC investors this past 2 weeks. I hope this video helped address some of the concerns many of you had. Let me know in the comments what you think or if you have any other questions and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I live in Florida and we are currently surviving a hurricane with potential of becoming a Category 4, so I could be without internet or electricity for a bit, so please be patient in my ability to get back to y'all. Don't worry about me though, I am fine and bunkered down getting my ass kicked on Elden Ring. Join my Discord if you want to have a more private discussion regarding AMC. Thank you for watching this video through its end. I hope to see you on the next one, to the moon.